Good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world. Today is June the 10th, the year 2021, and I am doing this live because we've had a significant update in the Cash Gernon case. We've had a significant update in this case. Give me just a second. Okay, just making sure all the streams look good. Okay, let's share this out. There we go. Okay. Now, we've talked about this before, when in the whole time, really, that this case has been ongoing ever since Cash Gernon was found deceased in the middle of a road in Dallas. One of the things that many of us have talked about is the fact that the crime lab is going to be looking over evidence that they would have gotten during Cash's autopsy, during the investigation. And it all right. Sorry about that, y'all. I had a little blip. All right, I'm going to share this back out. All right. Okay, so there's been a significant update in the Cash Gernon case. And, you know, listen, I'm not going to be live every day talking about this case. If there's not a significant update, then I won't be going live to talk about this. And that's just kind of how it works with me. I know there are some people out there, that are live every day. They're absolutely, using this case for clicks and views and all that sort of a thing. But I don't, I don't participate in that type of stuff. The beautiful thing about just being you, is that you don't have to participate in that type of stuff. Um, I talk about all sorts of weird stuff over here, UFOs, aliens, but I also cover crime news, crimes and investigations. And I have, this channel here, LeakQ, which is more representative of who I am. But I also have the Crimes and Investigations YouTube channel that you guys definitely want to subscribe to. The only thing on that Crimes and Investigations channel is my Crimes and Investigations content. Hey, Question Everything, how are you? I hope you're well. All right, so let's get to this update. It was announced yesterday, late last night, that Texas authorities have placed a capital murder charge on Darriynn Brown. Darriynn Brown is the Texas teen who stands accused, and he will go on trial for the murder of 4-year-old Cash Gernon. Cash was kidnapped from his home last month, and it was captured on video. And it's been really, honestly, a very shocking video, and it has circled the world probably a million times 10. And even still now, people are just really shocked that all the circumstances of this case are shocking. Even the victim and perpetrator, the races, um, the fact that Darriynn Brown apparently has been known to have mental issues, and his mother and his attorney have came out since his arrest, and they have told the world that Darriynn is a schizophrenic. Y'all check this out. This is a news clip regarding these latest details, and then we'll finish talking about this.
Video of a sleeping toddler who was abducted from his bed by a teen. For the first time, we are seeing the chilling video of a sleeping toddler who was abducted from his bed by a teenage suspect who is accused of brutally murdering him moments later.
A chilling video indeed. The DailyMail.com obtained a surveillance tape showing the suspect, 18-year-old Darriynn Brown, breaking into the Dallas home of 4-year-old Gernon, snatching him from the bed where he slept with his twin brother hours before his body was found nearby.
Fox Nation's Crime Stories host Nancy Grace is here to react. Nancy, this is just bothersome to all of us. What do you know?
Well, this is what we know. We know that this little boy, Cash, was there sleeping in the same room with his twin brother. In the middle of the night, it was about 5 a.m., the early morning hours. This guy, 18-year-old Darriynn Brown, reportedly wearing an ankle monitor from a previous offense, comes into the room. He stands over Cash for about a minute, looking around, then pulls back the blanket, then grabs the boy and takes him out as he is sleeping. He is found a little over an hour later by a woman who's out jogging around 6:30 in the morning. She sees what she thinks, I almost hate to even say it, is a dog that has been hit by a car possibly, goes up. She finds the little boy, no shirt, no shoes, covered in blood from the torso up. And what strikes her are their ants crawling all over his little feet.
It's terrible. We have got a soundbite also from Daily Mail of this is a woman by the name of Monica Sherrod. She is the girlfriend to the biological father of Cash, and this is
what if they're actually married?
What happened that night?
That would be crazy.
All you think about is your baby that's missing. And when they said, Mom has cameras, I rewinded the cameras, and there he was, the boy taking my son out of his bed.
My son?
Why would they hurt him? He was 4. He was like this big, like he was so little. He wasn't even the size of a 4-year-old.
It's every parent's nightmare. And then Nancy, after the suspect did that, went back into the room.
He comes back. Yeah. He comes back. He comes back in. Then he looks over the other little twin boy, Carter, Cash and Carter. And then he appears, if you look at the baby monitor video very carefully, he appears to appear spooked, like he hears something, and then he leaves. He came back for the brother.
Nancy, what is the motive? Because what makes someone do something like this? Do the police know?
Now, you know what? That's where I'm lucky, because prosecutors are never required to show motive, to go into somebody like this head and figure out what's going on. But already the defendant's mother, who again reportedly was wearing an ankle monitor, reportedly for evading police, says he's being set up and he has mental issues. Now, does that rise to legal insanity? It will not. So no motive as of yet, but we do know an edged implement was used to kill this 4-year-old child.
Nancy, it's so bizarre, though, because I was reading these articles and it says the biological mother couldn't find her children. I think she's been reunited with Carter. The dad was dating this girl who we saw the soundbite from, but he hasn't been seen in the house since March. So she was raising these twins by herself. And then the suspect, the body was found a mile away from the house. The suspect lived a mile away from where the body was found. So, or half a mile, I should say. So is there a connection here? Did he know the family?
I think there's a very strong possibility he knew somebody in the family or had been watching the family. And again, we also know that he came in through a garage door that was either open or broken, walked right in, and then got through the connecting door to the inside.
Well, the video is so troubling and so haunting and such a terrible end of the story. Nancy, thank you for joining us and telling us your...
There's something as I was sitting here watching this that I thought about. And, there are, shout out to Nancy Grace. Like, much respect to Nancy Grace, former prosecutor. She has been covering crime news for ever since I can remember. And she's very good at what she does. And she's very meticulous about what she does. And she does not run with rhetoric. She does not run with unbased facts. She's a former prosecutor, so she knows what is the right thing to say, what's the wrong thing to say. And it's really crazy to me when I see bloggers that will literally try to lift themselves up as if they are better than or do a better job than Nancy Grace. Put some respect on that lady's name. Now, we talked about this, the last few times. And again, what I was going to say, as far as when I was watching Nancy talk about this, the thought came across my mind about how difficult sometimes this can be. How difficult it can be to talk about these types of cases, whether it's on television, on the internet, on a blog, a vlog, whatever the case that it may be. When this case happened, and Dallas, that's my hometown. This is my city, Dallas. I didn't even want to cover it because I knew that covering this case would mean that I would have to open myself up to darkness. Because in order for me to talk about this case, I have to basically ingest what I'm seeing and the videos and all that type of stuff so I could turn around and formulate that into words for my audience. And that can be very difficult sometimes, especially when it comes to children and talking about the murder of a child. So again, I just wanted to say that. Now, Cash has been laid to rest. He has had his funeral. It has already happened. It was private. I did and said absolutely nothing about his funeral, and I don't plan on it. So I just don't think that is an important aspect that needs to be talked about. I don't want to see Cash in his fucking casket. Like, I think I'm not here to judge other people, what they do on their blogs. All I'm saying is, me particularly, I'm not going to do that. I would have to have the mother and father's consent. And the only reason that the casket of Malia Davis ever got out to the newspapers and to bloggers and the bloggers to feel comfortable about putting that photo of the casket is because Sunshine Industries, the company that did the artwork on that casket, they donated Malia Davis's casket. I'm not sure about Cash's. Actually, I don't. I'm confident someone else completely paid for this funeral. I'm not going to go into any details of that, but Sunshine Industries, you guys keep them in mind. Like, they seem to have this thing where it's hard, right? I mean, they painted Cash's casket. It was a really nice casket. It had like Hot Wheels on it and stuff like that. But again, there's a difference in the Cash and Malia Davis case. And the photo of Malia Davis's casket, that was released by her own father. And really, honestly, Brittany Bowen's like, who even respects her? Malia Davis's mom. Like, nobody even respects that lady. Anyway, we've talked about how the crime lab was going to be, testing the things that they have recovered during their investigation of Cash's murder. And it looks like they did find some evidence that linked Darriynn Brown to Cash Gernon's death. Now, I know we sort of talked about it, let me just say this, a lot of us, many of us, we want to know if Cash was like sexually assaulted, right? Because the motive is so bizarre in this case. Personally, I do think Darriynn is crazy. I don't think that we can make sense of this murder because it doesn't make sense. Don't try to put your rational, sane mind into the mind of someone who's irrational and insane. It's not going to make sense. It's impossible for this to make sense. Now, capital murder means one of two things. Darriynn Brown's either going to get a lethal injection or he is going to be placed in prison for the rest of his life with no parole. When we in Texas charge capital murder, that is the highest level of murder charge that anyone could ever get in this state, and it is death or it's life or death in that case. Anytime you hear capital murder, it's very possible that prosecutors in Texas are sort of known for not giving a fuck about someone's mental condition, right? And really, honestly, in a lot of cases could probably say, hey, I don't even care if he's schizophrenic. He's going to get the needle type mindset that's, some people have. They don't give a damn if he has schizophrenia. But the one thing I do know is that schizophrenia, they call him the psychoteen, that mental condition is going to be probably the only thing that would save him from getting a needle, and that would only be if he's found legally insane. There's all these processes that are going to be taken at this point. But you guys, I'm telling you, Darriynn Brown is crazy. He's crazy. He talks to himself. He does all sorts of weird stuff. They're down in that jail looking at Darriynn Brown. He's under 24-hour surveillance. He talks to himself. He is, even the guards think he's crazy. And he's not participating in a murder right now as he sits behind bars, right? Just be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. Now, there's been a lot of accusations of people being accused of being killers. We've got bloggers calling people and their children nicknames like Special K. But whose DNA did they find? I wonder if any of those people are going to apologize to the people that they've absolutely talked about and accused of horrible things that they didn't do. See, that's the beautiful thing about allowing a court of law to handle the case. A case is not to be tried out here with bloggers, right? It's not a blogger's place to try a criminal case. It's just not. They speculate, but that's the dangerous part of it, right? The speculation. We have sat here and watched, a lot of speculation happen, right? And there's a lot of speculation regarding Monica Sherrod, her relationship with Darriynn, whether it was Darriynn or Cameron that's on the footage and this and that. None of it's rooted in facts. Now, again, yeah, it became a circus. Question everything. It absolutely became a circus. Hey, Trish, how are you? I'm curious. Let's talk news. Why do you feel that way? Why do you feel that Darriynn is not guilty, especially now that they have found DNA evidence that links him? And again, the police are not telling us what that DNA evidence is. They're not telling us exactly what that DNA evidence is. I'm really glad for that, because if they were to come out and say anything about, the specifics on that, I have a feeling some blogs would be hitting that live button. What if we hear from prosecution that the DNA evidence that's linked to Cash is his semen? Then what are you guys going to say? You cannot make sense of an irrational situation. You just can't make sense of it. And some of you guys are like literally banging your heads against walls trying to make sense of an irrational situation. Again, Texas authorities are very confident in this case. They're confident they have the right person in jail. We've seen it on camera. And now there's DNA evidence that links him. So what are you guys going to say now? Are you going to continue to defame and slander people that live in Dallas that didn't have anything to do with the murder of this case? Yes, there was some irresponsibility. Oh yeah, there was people that were irresponsible. They suck as, maybe suck as being mothers and fathers. Um, you know, uh, a father that absolutely abandoned his children, a father who's missing again. My understanding is Trevor is missing again and nobody knows where he's at. That's what he originally did. That's why his children ended up in Monica Sherrod's house in the first place. Just abandoned them. Now, there's something that I really want to make sure you all fully understand here. The mother of Cash and Carter Gernon, and this is actually noted by Dallas police, had been looking for them for an extended period of time. But did you guys also catch the part where authorities had been assisting her for the longest period of time? So this isn't something that she just made up. Like, oh yeah, I'm looking. I was looking for them for a couple of months, a couple of weeks. I couldn't find my sons. I don't know where my sons are. I was looking for them. The authorities were actually helping Mrs. Seagroves look for her sons. So there is actual documentation. It's going to come out. It's going to prove that. But a lot of you bloggers, y'all are not privy to that. You are not privy to this information. You don't know all the details. I really implore you all to take a step back. Please stop doing speculation. Report on the facts. It's crazy. You guys are turning this fucking case into a circus. Stop. Just stop. The police confirmed. The police confirmed that they were helping. There was an extensive search for an extended amount of time for her sons. And the authorities were assisting with that. Period. You're going to call the Dallas police a lie? Anyway, that's all really that there is to this case right now. The fact that he has been charged with capital murder, there's no other really big. This is the biggest, deal, or the biggest event that is occurring in this case right now, is that Darriynn Brown has been charged with capital murder. And again, whether he's insane or not insane, it's not up to the prosecution to really care about that right now when they level the charges against him. It's going to be up to his defense attorney to battle that out before the judge. So Darriynn Brown will remain in jail. He's down there at Lou Sterrett. We call it Lulu here in D-Town. He's down there at Lou Sterrett. He's being held on a $1.6 million bail. One other thing that I want to note here is that his attorney's name is Heath Harris. And he has claimed he is frustrated by the slow release of information from authorities about the case. Quote, "It's almost a month after this tragedy, and I'm still waiting to prepare this kid's defense." What? We can't do that till we have all the evidence. So it appears that he is going to have a very vigorous defense. What if he's just crazy? What if he's real? What if he's just insane? What if he's insane? Legally. You have to understand that putting a needle in someone's arm who's insane, to me, doesn't feel like the right thing to do. Someone's crazy. Someone's out of their mind mentally and rationally. I just would not want to be the gravedigger. I would not want to be the executioner or the gravedigger. You know what they say? Sometimes, well, it ain't sometimes, you know what they say, right? When you dig a grave for someone else, you might as well dig one for yourself. Let me look at some of these comments. Yeah, Trish, it's really difficult to talk about this stuff. The video. When the video came out, if you're really going to blog about this case, you have to watch that. You have to ingest that darkness into your soul through your eyes. The eyes are the window to your soul. And, you know, it's just, it's a very sad situation. Let me see. I've known people who have mental issues being used and abused repeatedly. That's why I believe it's more to the story. People take advantage every day, right? The facts are not the facts. Yes, the police lies all the time. Yeah. The FBI is involved too. Hey, Stasha. So you have to look at the facts. We don't know everything yet, but they know that DB was there at the time poor baby Cash Gernon was murdered. And they also have confirmed this now with evidence. There is DNA evidence that now connects Darriynn to this murder. There's nothing else to say. So I'm just going to leave it at that. You guys have a really, really good rest of your day. Definitely don't forget to subscribe to my backup channel and my crimes and investigations channel. And you guys want to check out the video I did last night regarding this whole UFO and aliens. I know it's crazy. I know. But I'm going to give y'all a link here. I'm going to give y'all a link. Y'all definitely are going to want to go check this out. Now, there are times when, and the reason why you really, really want to get in there and get subscribed to these channels is because I will stream public or unlisted. So the only thing you're going to be able to depend on is notifications to see some of my videos. So you definitely want that backup channel to be in your sub list because there are some videos I do, like my Screwed and Chops, that I don't even put on like my crimes and investigations channel. So anyway, I want you guys to have this particular video so you can go and look at this because it's a very interesting one that I did last night about Skinny Bob. Skinny Bob. So let me give you a link so that you can check this out when you get a chance. And let's see, copy that. All right, we are back. I'll throw this link in the chat for you guys, and y'all should definitely check that out. So, hey, Absolute, what's up with it? DNA does not lie. Yep, DNA does not lie. Like the Dallas PD and the FBI just woke up and said, hey, let's go convict an innocent man for the murder of a child, or a crazy innocent man, right? An innocent man or a crazy person. They didn't just wake up one morning saying, yeah, I'm going to go find a crazy person on the street and just put a whole murder charge on him. No, now the DNA evidence has come in and has confirmed this link. I'm just gonna wait until trial, unless there's like a big change in this case, and things like that. Like I won't be doing videos on it. So, I will not be speculating on this case. Hey, Janet, how are you? It's good to see you guys. Shout out to y'all over on Facebook. Shout out to you guys on Twitch and the Periscope. I hope y'all are well. But yeah, there is a beat. The DPD beat is the Dallas Police Department's manor. Hey, Truth Seeker, is the Dallas Police or the Dallas Truth Seeker? Did you want to come up? Because you've been looking at this case too, and I think you had a live coming up right in about an hour talking about demons and. Hold on, y'all. let me show you guys this before we get out of here. The link that I dropped in the chat is the DPD Beat. Basically, what it is, it's like a updated blog that the Dallas Police Department does, and this is where you're going to get your official information. This is where you're going to get this official, those official announcements. When they're not doing a press conference, you definitely want to come here to get the actual official information regarding this case. And as you can see, last night, that's when I scheduled the video for today. I've seen some of y'all going live last night. Shout out to Stop the Madness, by the way. I see, he's trying to stick to these facts. He's been having panels. I really enjoy Madness, his show, his crime news. But last night they announced this, and that's what prompted me to schedule my video for today. If I would have went live last night, I would have pulled hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of views, but I'm not in it for that. I do this because I want to. This channel isn't even monetized. None of my YouTube channels are monetized, actually. If you want to donate to me, you can hit me on that Cash App or the PayPal or whatever. But I don't think I'm going to even go through the drama of monetizing shit. What's up, Truth Seeker?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? What are your thoughts on this case?
It's very demonic.
Yeah.
They say he crazy, and he might be acting like he crazy or showing signs of crazy, but I believe he was underneath demonic possessed when he did what he did. Because
now that is, elaborate on that.
Because demonic possession is the same signs as somebody being crazy. When you do the research, the same things, that a crazy person would do, like talk to themselves. He probably wasn't talking to himself. He probably was talking to something.
Did you see that? It did seem like that, didn't it? Like he said, "What are you doing?" And it's like he talked back to himself again. It's like multiple personality, right?
Conversation. Yeah. But
and it's like he was talking to a demon. Like he knew what he was doing was wrong, but
he knew what he was doing was wrong. But by him being underneath, demonic possession, he couldn't control his body. The entity was controlling his body and making him do what he was doing.
Do you believe that the demonic possession is like something that would have had to have been like on him for a long period of time before this murder happened?
Yeah.
He was trying to kidnap a child in February also.
Yeah, and I was about to say that it comes in stages, demonic possession. It just don't happen overnight. It be signs, it's stages of when you underneath demonic possession. And once you get to that stage, that last stage, where that entity can take over your body and control it. It's one thing when you hearing weird noises in the house. That's because you didn't open up a door, doing something.
Right.
And hearing and seeing little strange stuff, that's a sign of demonic possession, but it hasn't entered your body yet. They start fighting you and doing little stuff to you, pulling your hair inside the house. All them, you got to go through those steps before you get fully possessed. And what happened with him is, in his case, and no, I'm not trying to make no excuses for him. I'm not, before anybody think that's what I'm doing. I'm just looking at what I've done research on. That's how I can tell.
And she has a video, guys, coming up today at noon in an hour. I just dropped the link where she's going to be talking about this. So this is kind of like prefacing for her video. So you guys definitely want to click that link and set that reminder to hear her, this is her thoughts on this. She gets a little bit deeper into that demonic possession stuff.
I'm not really up there talking. It's a video, of some of my research that I went and done. So it's not really me up there talking, and it's not really what I feel.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only way I can put it, because people be thinking I'm crazy, but I don't care. I know what I be talking about.
I don't think you're crazy. I do think there is an aspect of mental health, or when people are mentally unwell and you see them like sort of talking to themselves. I do believe there is an aspect of demon activity that happens. I don't know how deep that goes, but
It
like,
goes so much deeper than people realize, because when you catch somebody talking to themselves,
mhm,
it's something there that's holding the conversation with them.
even if you don't see it, I mean, they're definitely you're
Or they
hearing something in their
hallucinating.
mind. Yeah.
Or they hallucinating. You
Hmm.
know, some sickness will make you hallucinate. Stuff that's going on with your body that you don't even know, that you having health issues, or drugs that you doing that'll make you hallucinate. But in his case, I don't think it's a hallucination. I believe it's something that's actually there, that was guiding that boy. That's the reason why he tried the first time to attempt to do it. And not only did he attempt to do it, he scoped the places out before he tried to attempt to do it. This
Yeah.
is the entity sitting here, took over his body and making him do these things that he is doing. He don't even know. He's so far gone, sound like, because I ain't really been looking at it.
Hmm.
But he sound like he's so far gone that entity that took his body over. He's not even there no more. He's not. That's not him.
Oh
That's
my
not
gosh, you're
him.
gonna make me pull something up.
No,
Check this.
seriously, it's not him. That's not him that they finna prosecute. That's not him that they finna probably give the death sentence, penalty to. That is not him. And that's the sad part about being underneath demonic possession, is the fact that that person, it's not them. It's something else that it took over their body, and they have to, die for it or deal with the consequences behind it. They need, I feel like it need more help as far as people to help people that's and understand these things. But it ain't got so bad now in the world that, like you said, they don't care if he mentally ill. So if they don't care if he mentally ill, they don't care if he was underneath demonic possession.
Check this out, True Seeker. I'm curious what your opinion is on this. I was looking at some enhanced video that had been done by some of the vloggers out here, and I ran across one where they actually enhanced the audio of what Darriynn was saying when he came back that morning. Let me get your thoughts on this. Yeah, that was deep, he says. Then he
I
says, "You're acting like
mean,
a creep. Go home." That ain't nothing
yeah,
new.
that thing was talking to him. Now, what it was, I don't know. There's so many different levels of demons out there, but
It's like he's
it,
having a conversation with something, with himself.
he
Like, it's
ain't with
crazy.
himself. He is actually having a conversation. I don't care what people think. That nigga is having a conversation with an entity. That's what he's doing.
Shout out Happy Go Lucky. Thank you.
Because
How are you?
it seemed like when he was there, when he was standing there trying to grab the first child, like he was trying to debate, like he was having a conversation with the entity, saying, I don't want to do it, this is wrong. And the thing was talking to him, telling him, well, you need to go ahead and do it, and that's what it looked like. That's why that he knew from right and wrong came in, that because he did. But when you got something to possess over your body, you have no control. You see everything. If you knew how deep it was to be underneath possession, to see everything and to be killing things and doing stuff, and you see that you're doing it, but you don't have no control over your body.
Mm. It's it's crazy. I mean, we could even go back into biblical times where there has been cases of demonic possession and, you know, casting demons out of people and stuff like that. I guess we always try to find a reason something happens. You know, we always try to find why to why something happens. But
Yeah, which is
sometimes
normal.
there's no like really good
That's
answer. Hey,
that's
Ray.
normal to think of the why. And people forget that it's good and evil out there. And people forget the biggest trick that the devil can pull on you is to make you think he doesn't exist and that he be pulling strings behind the scenes to make people do certain stuff. You know, he can't force you really, technically, unless, you know, a demon possessed your body, but he can damn sure influence you.
Mm. Well, some people in the chat, you know, they still feel that Darriynn Brown is not the perpetrator. Um, and you know, I really cannot wait. Well, I can wait, but I really am not looking forward to, but am looking forward to the evidence to come out as far as what they have on him. You know, they've got some sort of DNA link to Darriynn in this case. So I'm curious what that DNA evidence is, you know. So anyway, you guys check True Seeker out. She's going to be live here, and she's going to be, you know, she's got a couple videos coming up. So y'all definitely subscribe over to her channel over there.
But I just want to say one thing to the
Go
chat.
for it. Go
That
for it.
I'm not excusing that young man's behavior. I'm one of the people that hates, I mean, really hates people that hurt little children. And I just want y'all to know that. And I'm not just sitting here trying to blame everything on the devil. But come on now, y'all. Some of the stuff that people do that you be like, how in the heck is you as a human being can go out and do these things? Like, y'all don't even know that these predators that does these things to children are underneath demonic possession. That's what makes them do it. But that's all I wanted to say for the ones that was assuming that I'm just making excuses for the guy. You know, I'm really not. I'm really not.
No.
What he did was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, also too, let me ask you, Truth Seeker, what do you think about the fact that the victim is a young white male and the perpetrator is a 18-year-old black male? Does that seem odd to you as well?
Yes, it very much so do, especially since everything is going on now with this racist stuff. It's very funny that and y'all gotta remember how these entities work though. They sit back and they studied us for years and they know what's going on and they know that we had a racist war, you know, with each other. And they use demons to do stuff like this to make the situation worse because they know what's going on. I mean, really. They're very intelligent, just like, you know, the people say about the UFOs. Those are demons, y'all. Y'all got to do research.
You think so? I don't think so. I don't think they're
them
demons.
Them things are freaking demons.
Y'all know I'm gonna have to like share some more of this UFO stuff because I've got people really, really interested in UFOs and aliens the last couple of weeks. I've been talking about it, and I guess I'm kind of excited about the report that's coming out to Congress soon regarding UFOs and UAPs.
Well, you know what? Let me take that back saying demons. Let me say it in another way for people to kind of understand what I mean. They're demons, but they're fallen angels. They're the sons of gods. Those are them angels that was cast out of heaven along with Lucifer. That's all that is, y'all see.
The Book of Enoch is really good in regards to that story, and would be very helpful for those of you that may not be familiar with what she's talking about. But the Book of Enoch is very interesting. It's also mentioned in the Bible several times.
Yeah,
the book is not in the Bible.
They've been here for thousands and thousands. They've been here before Christ. They've been studying us, like sitting back, observing us.
Yeah.
preying on us. We are prey to them. And you know what's funny is that a lot of the government and these celebrities actually socialize with these things and summons them up. And they really think that they got their best interest in heart when these things really do not like us as human beings. They hate our guts. The fact that God shall say to bow down to someone like us, it's like, to who is they? And that's why they got cast out. And you really think they care? They love to see us fighting. They love to see us fighting in that war and tearing up each other and bringing each other down. I think they love YouTube the best because, boy, people be tearing each other down left and right on YouTube.
Oh, goodness. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Like, I came across that beef sector, and baby, I've been just focusing on my content. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how people like go back and forth like that every day. You know,
I can't do it.
I can't. Either. Like, I just want to do
every single
content.
day. Every time somebody say something, I'm not finna do it. I'm sorry. You can have it. You ain't gonna feed off of my energy because that's all that's about. It's feeding off of people's energy.
Yep. I mean, when you really, I even talked about this in my Screwed and Chop yesterday. It's like, when you come up on here and you make those videos, right? And you're trying to bury your grave for someone else by doxing them and, putting out personal things about them or lies about them, you might as well dig a grave for yourself too. It's like when West Bank Twerker over there tried to come up on here and mar my reputation, but he ended up getting tarred and feathered himself. Them
people got demons inside of them that talks to them on a day-to-day basis. The only thing is they don't got enough sense to know it's an entity. It's just something giving them these bright ideas. Oh, go on YouTube and talk shit about Leak You today. Shit, I'm sitting here bored. Let me do it.
Let me get some views. Let me throw Leak You's name in the title.
Yeah, big content creator name in the title to get me some views because I'm bored. I don't have a job. I don't have a life.
Thank you, Absto. I try to. Yeah. I watch my spouse go to work every day and then I come up on YouTube and I attack all these women and try to tell them how to be women and mothers. And it's like, I cannot. I absolutely, my troll account has unsubbed from several people recently in the last 24 hours. So
your troll account.
I got 2,000 of them. That's what they say anyway. That's the claim that they make, right? But you're right, Abso. I can get down with the best of them, but I have been trying to just stick to my commentary because that stuff is for the birds, and going back and forth all the time is not for me. I've already said what I had to say.
It's draining too. It drains your energy to sit there and keep going back and forth. Mentally, it drains you.
I'm just not interested anymore, Truth Seeker. It's like I'm bored with it now. It's boring. I enjoyed, my commentary on the tops, and sometimes I talk about some weird stuff, aliens and UFOs and things like that. But at the
I
end of the day,
think you're at your best when you're doing this type of stuff right here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Some other people,
I think you're at your best.
Other people feel the same way. And I definitely have peeped games. So, we all live and learn, I actually even went through and privated all beef sector videos on my main channel. So, all the fame that people get from being talked about, they won't get that. Your 15 minutes are over. So yeah, I appreciate you guys, my subscribers and stuff that are still hanging with me,
Yeah.
Thank you, Happy Go Lucky.
And now you done grew another channel.
Amazing, right? Another channel. We got 1,000 subs on Crimes and Investigations. And the backup channel is growing too. And this has been what, 3 or 4 weeks when I got that
Yeah,
flag. That false flag did help me, I think. It
everything
helped me.
happens for a reason.
Yeah. I'm actually glad that it happened, because if it wouldn't have happened, maybe.
It forced you to it forced you to focus on other things.
Mm. And yeah. So everything happens for a reason, like you said. But anyway, guys, it's really been a pleasure. I'm going to end this live. We've been live for about almost an hour now. And, whenever there's like a large update in this case, then I will definitely come back and let you guys know. Would I recommend people to start a YouTube channel? I would. But what I would say is, if you're going to like participate in certain sectors or certain communities on YouTube, then you may want to do things a little bit different, you know? Patreon is actually here. The Patreon is here. Thanks, True Seeker. The Patreon's actually here. I just haven't did the whole massive, market of, hey, y'all, come over here to the Patreon and let's go ahead and just kick this off. Because when I literally kick that off, I'm going to have to, my Patreon timeline is going to be bumping. It's going to be the shit. I want it to already be full when you guys initially sign up over there. So, all right, guys, I'm out. I will catch you guys during the next live. Y'all have a really good rest of your day. And, keep it trill, y'all. Keep it trill. Shout out to all my Texans in the building.